Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Angels in Politics. This is the Angels in Politics broadcast, and I am your host. I am your intermediary. I am your intercessory connecting piece. The White Collar Goon, the creative and artistic manifestation of Angels in Politics, and you are the news. I was gonna say you are a part of the political circle, but you already knew that. Somebody says, Gabe, am I a part of your family? Of course you are. Somebody says, am I a part of the divine feminine? Well, do you want to be? Have you activated that? All right, so like that's what somebody might say. Do I have my own superpowers? Am I the archetypal superhero? Have you manifested it? Are you currently manifesting that? Okay, somebody might say, Gabe, like, yo, white collar goon, yo, Mr. Political, yo, why every time I see you, you're like naked? Why are you fucking naked? Where is your clothing? Where is your clothes? The reason why I'm naked is because I want to present you with my naked truth. I'm going to be as radically transparent to you, for you, so you can see that there is no. I present you flaws and all, imperfections and all. You see this. You see this. So that's why this is the reason why I am this way. I want to be radically transparent and open with you so somebody can say, yo, Gabe, I've seen your videos and they are super turned up. But when they mean that, like, no, they are turned up, but what they truly mean is like, yo, I'm seeing parts of you that I didn't want to see. I'm hearing information from you that I didn't really know that you were like informed on. I'm hearing content, I'm receiving content. I don't necessarily accept all of this content, but it's like, bro, like you're so open with it. It's actually like uncomfortable. Sometimes it's actually a little bit, unfair. It's actually a little bit like I don't really get it. Like most people should have some a veil. Some people should have some like pride. Some people should have some type of limiting, encumbering, recourse. There should be some type of trigger that says like, please don't do that. Please don't tell them everything. And you're like the complete opposite. So here I am. Here I am. There is a topic that I wanted to present to you. Well, there is my truth that I wanted to present to you. I'm trying to finish up with this award in apple cider vinegar. It is making my tummy grumble because I have not had my breakfast. Have you had a meal yet? When I mean a meal, I don't mean like that artist that was signed by Jay-Z in the late 90s. So I'm talking about like, have you eaten something as of yet? Okay, me neither. So that's cool. Don't break your fast. Don't break your fast just yet. Like, just internalize this message, consume this message, and then afterwards, like hopefully it provided you some spiritual food, and maybe it provided you some psychological, some mental food. And then if you want to expand your vessel physically, then you move on and move forward with that. But before you get into like the actual proper for like food, like I hope you have established your own system of synthesis, your own system of synchronicity. Somebody says, what is that system? Your system of sequence that is going to happen in perpetuity. That means automatically, that means every day. And that's how you are going to achieve your self-actualization, meaning you'll be on the top of your pyramid of your own hierarchy of needs, and you will manifest your dreams. And I don't know what your dreams are, only you know what your dreams are. Hopefully you're documenting them, hopefully you are reading them, hopefully you are reading books that are conducive to your growth, your development, your cultivation. You are the sum of all your parts, so that means the people that you hang out with, the people who you associate yourself with, the books that you read, the content that you consume, all of that is your programming, all of that is how you apply your programming, and that will in turn determine how you interface, right? So life is about like decision making, life is about relationships, life is about encoding, decoding, processing, spitting out. Okay, decision. Hopefully you make incremental decisions, better decisions, 1% better. Just get 1% better in something every single day, and that's how you get on with life. So boom. What is my truth today? Let me get my coffee. So I saw something on my timeline, and it had a homie who said, and shout out to my homie. I haven't seen him since 2008, 2009, something like that. He was in my art class, and that's neither here nor there. I saw on the timeline that he was like, yo, I'm not really, he said, ladies, I'm not really into the one night stand kind of thing. Like, and he put his, like, I think the emoji was like hands up, or maybe that's the cute sci-fi look, but it's like, hey, I'm not really into the random hookups, one night stand. I'm not into being used or my body being used, and, frivolous, hookups and sex, or I still don't know what sex is, but that's what he was saying. He's not into one night stands. And there's a lot of individuals who feel this way. And I'm saying that's a good thing. I'm saying that's a great thing. That's such a beautiful, like, and it takes some time for a guy, particularly black guys, to be that honest and transparent about their truth, because of, I mentioned before, we listen and we actually believe the rap music that we listen to. I mean, white people listen to rap music too. They just don't believe any of it. Like, we actually, like, think that shit is true. We actually wake up and think like, oh my gosh, we're not of value unless we're out here fucking hoes, all right, or robbing people, or banking a set, whatever the fuck that is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is how we get our confidence, right? So it's like, and not everybody, of course, but I'm just saying, like, for a large demographic, that is a thing, particularly within black males, in inner cities, who probably don't have, like, father figures or better friends, or don't read books, right? So it's like, these are the types of things that are, like, which is within the consciousness. But my man's was like, yo, like, I'm not really into the, like, random hookups. I'm not really into that. I'm saying, like, brother, man, not only is that great, because, like, when you're not focused on, the hookups and the one night stands, you leave time, or you've allocated time, or you've set aside time, energy, effort, money, because, one night stands normally happens at bars, clubs, that type of thing, parties, which is a bar, club, social environment type of thing. And when you're not going to these things, that energy is projected, conveyed, directed to something that is beneficial, constructive, conducive to your growth, your development, your cultivation, your sophistication, your refinement, your achievements, your aspirations, your goals, things of that nature. So, I think it's great that you have that mindset. The truth of the matter is the truth of the matter is, because you're not a guy who honestly is looking for that, will in turn be the reason why girls will want to fuck with you, and girls will take you home and fuck you for the one night stand. And I'm going to explain that. Just because life is about polarity. Life is about the yin and the yang. Life is about, like, opposites attracting. Life is about the sun and the moon and the light and the dark and the left and the right, and life is a spectrum. Life is a spectrum, and when you have a spectrum, there is this side and then there is this side, and coming together is how we have equanimity. That's how we have synthesis. That's how we have synchronicity. That's how we have balance. That's how we have, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, and, like, really they're all the same thing, but we just have to project that there's two different sides, the conservative side and the liberal side, or whatever the case may be, because there are liberals who are still conservative, and there are conservatives who are still, like, they think they're conservative but they're probably liberal. I mean, it's all the same shit, but it's like, we need to show that there is polarity, right? So there was a time whereby I was, like, I was staying with a fraternity brother. He was an older brother of mine, and I remember I don't know where he's from. He's from out Richmond, but, like, I think his family is Ghanaian. Like, both of his parents are from Ghana. I think he was raised in Richmond, or whatever the case may be, but he goes back and forth to Ghana in the summertime to visit family. So he's raised in that traditional sense. So he's not like the traditional, conventional black guy, black American, because he's not. Like, he's black, but parents are from Ghana. So maybe he's maybe more of a true African American in that sense. But yeah, I remember my homie saying, yeah, a friend of mine who knew this dude was saying, like, he's never really been what they call a nasty kind of guy. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? He's like, he's never been a kind of guy that, like, goes after girls, or he's not the type of guy who is looking to hook up with girls or finds pleasure in like, yo, let me go ahead and I'm trying to get my dick wet. Let me try to get my dick sucked. He's not that kind of guy. So it's like my homie knew him in high school growing up, and I guess that was something that they harped on. That's something that was noticed about him. That's something that stood out about him. That is like, yo, bro, you're not trying to get sex. You're not trying to have sex. Like you're not into this shit. Like, what's going on, bro? And it wasn't like that he was against women. It was like maybe he was just smart enough and refined enough and sophisticated enough to say, man, I'm working on myself, and I'm more intrigued and interested in my ascension of, you know, my upward mobility in life than, you know, chasing ass, honestly. So like that was the thing. But I remember I was staying with this guy for a summer because I was in summer school, and this must have been going into my like junior year or something like that of college. And I was staying with this guy on his floor. You know, he had an apartment in Herndon. He was already graduate. He had already graduated college. He had a good job at that time, whatever good job means. But he had a proper government contracting job as an engineer or something like that. Smart dude, sharp dude. But I was staying on his floor, and I remember going off to class, and this is fair play. Like he never he didn't give me like a key. Like I don't think he should have. But the only way I could be there was unless he was there. So if he was like, "Yo, I gotta go back home to Richmond for the weekend," so like, where are you staying? And I would be like, "Oh, I guess I'll find my way." You know what I'm saying? Or whenever I went off to school to take my class or whatever, if he wasn't there to let me in, I was like pretty much like hanging out in the parking lot until he got there. So one night, and it normally wasn't an issue, and I was only there for like, let's say 2 weeks or something like that. This was in the meantime until I got my apartment in Annandale or whatever with my fraternity brothers. But there was one night whereby I was like in the car waiting for this dude because I was like, oh, I'm back from class. Whereabouts are you? And he was like, oh, dude, I actually, right after work, a group of my friends, invited me for some drinks in DC. I'm at this happy hour. Boom, boom, boom. I'll be back in a bit. And, I'm happy for this dude. He's not really he's not really that kind of guy to go out for happy hours or, whatever. So it's like, and you know me. So I'm like, bro, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, handle business, have fun. I'll be out here chilling, like, because, like, I wasn't paying him to stay there. This was a gift. This was him giving for me. So it's like, bro, like, do your thing. That led to maybe me being in the car for like 2 or 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ends up coming back later than he expected. And, I wasn't tripping or whatever the case may be. I was just like, oh, it is what it is. I kind of would have preferred that he would have been like, yo, it's gonna be a minute, so maybe you could try to work something out. Try to work something out or whatever. Then I would have like made a move or made a move. But either way, he came back like later on that night, and he was like, flustered. I'm talking like he had his shirt unbuttoned. It was like the buttons were down to his stomach, and he had like his shoes in his hand. And I'm like, bro, what went down, dude? What went down, bro? He tells me like, yo, man, I was at a bar in DC, and I ended up having a one night stand. I'm sitting there like, I'm thinking like, yo, that's a good thing, bro. Like, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? And he was, and it was a thing because he was like, yo, it was mentioned some like Oriental woman, Asian girl. He's like, yo, man, I didn't even say nothing to the girl, man. I was just out there with my boys, and blase blah. She mentioned something to me and started talking to me and shit. I mean, I was drinking, and next she bought me a drink, and she started drinking more, and next thing you know, it was just like brought me back to the spot. It went down, and I was like, yo, dude, like, that's actually some wild ass shit. And he was like, I know, like, he's looking at me like, I know, bro, like, this isn't some shit that he was excited about it as much as I was, or maybe more so than I was, clearly, because he's the one that won with it. And I'm sitting there like, yo, that's cool. So with that story, like, I mean, I was happy for my mans, right? I was happy for my mans. Like, if that was the case, bro, I don't mind waiting in my car for 2 hours or 3 hours because you're out here getting laid by some Asian girl in DC. Like, if that's the case, bro, like, handle your motherfucking business. But I wanna like contextualize how that happened. You know, I wasn't there. I don't need to be there. I didn't need to have been there because I have spent an extensive amount of time in bars, clubs, parties, and things like that. And the reason why he had sex that night was because he is not the kind of guy to do those things. He is not the kind of guy who goes to the bar in general. He's not even a drinker. He's not even the kind of guy who is pursuing women in the aspect or in the with the prospect, or he's not prospecting women for hooking up, fucking, dating. Well, maybe dating. No, I don't even say that. Like, he's not looking for women and going out to women and speaking to women that he doesn't know. Like, that's not his MO, right? Guys, like, this is not like, it's not a science. It's not some like algorithmic decision that is made, that is computed, like by women. Let me like fuck around my computer. This is not the reason why that should happen. Women are smart. Women, of course, are intelligent, competent, intuitive, industrious, and all of that. But more so than any fucking thing, women are sharp, perceptive, and they are relational based, relationship based. They are intuitive to feelings, intuitive to emotions, when I mean in tune. Intuitive means like, yo, I knew what you were going to say before you were going to say it. I knew what kind of person you were before you even said what kind of person you were. I felt that you were into me before you even mentioned the fact that, oh my gosh, I think you're the most beautiful person. Like, girls got that shit down packed. Fuck what you heard. Fuck with, yo, I know they might say like, oh, I didn't notice you there. I've never seen you before. They saw you. They know who you are. Trust me. And maybe they don't know you personally, but they have seen you looking at them. They know you were checking them out 100%. Okay, so what I mean, what I really want to stress to you guys is that if you are these guys, and I'm going to say that's 80%, and I'm going to take it up a notch, maybe 85, 90% of guys. If you are these guys who are truly, not into like, the random hookups, or if you're not even the aggressive, assertive, like, hey baby, come home with me tonight, or hey baby, let me whisper sweet nothings in your ear, or you know what I'm going to do to you tonight, like whatever that bullshit is, like trust me, dude, you don't need to be that kind of guy because the women already know who you are. So my mans who's put online, yeah, I'm not the kind of guy for the one night stands, I would tell this dude, bro, you need to go to a bar. You need to go to the bar. Why? Because you're going to win out there. Because the polarity exists. The polarity really is a real thing. I'm not saying the girls who go to the bar are extra liberal. I'm saying the girls who go to the bar, go to the clubs, expect guys to be like hunting and whatever the case may be, because there are guys who get drunk and they need to get drunk for them to hunt. There are guys who need to have their shots of fucking whiskey and they need to have their double fist of beer. They need to have their fucking however many Bud Lights and gin and tonics and whatever fucking fireball shots before they go and approach the women in their drunken stupor and make the move, because they know during the daytime at work they weren't doing it. They know when they see them at the grocery store they won't do it. They know walking down the street in the park they're not going to do it. They know you're not that kind of guy. But you guys who genuinely don't really drink like that, which is a good thing because it's not good for your health, but you don't go to the bars like that because you don't hit on girls, like, I mean, that's not the reason why you go there, but like, you truly, are not into like hitting on girls like that. You're not a one night stand kind of guy. You're not into like, yo, aggressively pursuing women for sex. Like, yo, like women, like, I really want to lick your pussy. Like, I really want to eat your ass. Like, you're not that kind of guy. Like, it's like, that's not your thing. Like, not to say you don't feel that way, but you won't express it that way. You're not a direct kind of guy. You're not an assertive kind of guy. You're not that person. Because you are not that person is the reason why girls will approach you. Is the reason why girls will be comfortable taking you home. It is the reason why girls have the comfort. They will be comforted knowing, oh my gosh, this guy is essentially like what I'm looking for. I want the quiet guy. I want the guy who's too nervous or too shy to speak to me. I want the guy who's like gonna fall in love with me if I fuck him tonight. Like, I want the guy to be like my homie, coming back like flustered and flabbergasted and like taken aback because he got lucky tonight because he had sex with a woman at a bar and he never expected that type of shit to happen. Like, do you understand? That is why she fucked you, bro. That is the reason why she wanted that feeling, because it's a confirming feeling. It's an affirming feeling. She was in control. She controlled that situation. It's the truth of the matter, guys. If you go to a bar, you go to a party, you go to a club, and you take a girl home, or you think you take a girl home, but really she made the move on you. Like, you go to her place, you go to her place, she comes to your place, and by the time she disrobes and the bra matches the panties, let me tell you, ding, ding, ding. 10 times out of 10, you did not pull her, she pulled you. Let me say that again. You go to a party, you go to a club, you go to a bar, you go home with the woman. If the bra matches the panties, you didn't do it. I know you think it was your words. I know you think it's because you were like smooth. I know you just think it's like the stars aligned that night. No, brother. She plotted on you. In a good way, because you got sex. But I'm saying, like, she pulled you, bro. She pulled you because she could see that she would be the dominant person in that relationship. She knew she was the assertive and the aggressor in that relationship, or in that dynamic. Meaning, if you might think, yo, I'm the man, I'm the masculine man, I'm the one that, brought her back to my place, and I'm the one that brought her a drink, and I'm the one that said something, and next, she left with me. No, bro, you were the prey, she was the predator. And not predator in a bad way, like, bro, like, she probably like, you enjoyed yourself through that connection, and she wanted you to enjoy yourself, and she's happy with that because she's comfortable with that. Girls don't have one night stands with the guy who has his own like startup in San Francisco, who's raised $200 million in seed capital, and he drives a Porsche or something. Like, girls aren't having a one night stand with the real estate developer and mogul in downtown Austin who has new high rise condos being built, and he has the prominent jawline. Girls aren't having the one night stand with the fucking angel investor or the private equity owner or the fucking fighter pilot with the 8-pack who comes in with the New York Times best-selling writer who has a book everywhere on the bookshelves in your local bookstore, and he has his own brand of wine, and he does fucking motivational talks, and he has a whatever. Like, those aren't the guys that women are fucking on the first night. You understand me? Like, guys who have like this like unicorn type stories, guys who are like these apex kind of guys who are like self-actualized in that sense, who are like super direct, like, unless they have shielded themselves, unless they have lowered their power level, unless they're like fucking introverts truly, and if you are that self-actualized, you're probably not an introvert. Those women aren't fucking you for a one night stand kind of thing, because one night stands are about power. Like, when women initiate one night stands or have one night stands, it's on their behalf, because like, girl, I fucked this dude, but I got my pants up and I got my clothes on and I left and I went back to work, and I don't have to worry about seeing this guy because he's not going to ever be in my line of work. He's not in my world. He's not in this professional setting. He won't be where I go. He's not in that place. Why? Because I threw him a bone. I fucked a guy who I normally would not. I fucked a guy knowing that I won't fall for him because I wanted to shield my confidence. Because I wanted to shield my ego, because I didn't want to be embarrassed. So I fucked this guy because I knew he would have been like, oh my gosh, I'm not expecting this. But the guy who drives the fucking ZR1 Corvette, or the motorcycle guy with the leather jacket because he's the lead singer of the rock band, or the guy who, has his own software technology company in Bangladesh, and he's fucking, going back and forth to Bangkok and Taipei, and he happens to be in downtown Los Angeles for a conference, and he's only there for the weekend. You're not one night standing that motherfucker because you don't have the power to one night stand him. Do you understand me? Do you understand how it goes? She doesn't want to one night stand him because she might actually want to keep this motherfucker around. Do you understand? So, guys, I give you this information just for you to, really know the game. Really know the game and really know the truth. God bless. Collar Goon.